Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast, episode number 140, part of the Pod Hub Network. I am Ryan Alexander. Along with me, as always, is Anthony DiNardo. DiNardo, what up?
I don't know. Not much. Thank God I'm not watching that terrible Super Bowl anymore.
I'm not even talking about it.
We just don't acknowledge that, right?
No, nope,
it never happened.
It didn't happen. It might as well. It was a waste of what, 3-4 hours?
Seriously though, like, I'm dead serious. That was just awful.
It was horrible.
I was really expecting a lot more. I was excited for this Super Bowl. I thought the Rams really had a chance, especially since Tony said that the Patriots
right.
were winning. So I really
they had a chance
really
all
pulled.
game because the game sucked that bad.
It really did, man. Like 3-0 at halftime. It was just like, it just wore you down. The Patriots would drive till they got about to the 42-yard line, and then the Rams would stop them on 3rd and 2. Then the Rams would get the ball. It'd be 3rd and 48, and they would have to punt. And then their punter would kick it for like 98 yards. So it just was back and forth.
Was it the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history? It
wasn't good. And there's something to be said if there's low scoring, but these two just stout defense going after them, a lot of action, but like there wasn't even that. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. It was horrible. And it was like, it got to the point when it was, 3-0, 6-3 or whatever the heck it was, 3-3. Like it was like 8 minutes left in the game and you're like, it's a tie game or whatever, 3-point game. And it's like, this is the Super Bowl. Like any of these teams could win it. And it just wasn't exciting. Like it was just like the game, like you said, it wore you down. Like it just broke you down as like, boy, this sucks. Like when's this over?
Right.
Like,
honestly, too.
And got to get Brady at another ring. Yay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who I feel bad for, DiNardo?
What's that?
You know who I feel bad for?
Who?
I feel bad for Tony Romo. Now, here's a guy that was
he didn't have anything
excited.
They could predict.
He finally made I was going to say World Series. He finally made the Super Bowl. He was so excited. He's always excited. He was so excited to call a good game. That game broke him down. They were making fun of the game. Like it was. I've never heard of announcers making fun of the Super Bowl. It was horrible.
It was just that bad. It really though. Like it is.
Tony Romo couldn't even save it.
Yep. But anyways,
I don't know. Him suiting
enough
up
about
with the Rams
the Super Bowl.
Might have been better.
Enough about the PED user being the MVP of a Super Bowl.
Right.
Just saying.
PEDs. Well, I guess we could talk about the news of the day here, DiNardo. So the Pirates went out and signed a free agent.
They got Manny.
Well, not quite.
Oh.
So let's see here, DiNardo. You remember the meme with the was it from Jumanji, Robin Williams, and he's got the beard, and he's like, "What year is this?" Yeah, that's what I felt like today because I got a notification on my phone that the Pirates signed Francisco Liriano.
Bringing
Frankie,
our old friends back.
Who, I mean, almost, 4 years to the day, DiNardo, 6 years ago, February 8th, 2013, the Pirates signed Francisco Liriano to a deal. Then I think he got injured right after that. Like he slammed his hand into like his door or something at his house. I remember him getting injured right after he signed.
Yeah, was it like falling down the stairs or something? I remember it was something.
Something with his hand or
which
something.
Was very pirate-like.
It was something at home, something like clumsy. It was like a Polanco injury. And so, ends up, we had Frankie for a couple years, was very good. We had the big, the trade to the Blue Jays, Reese McGuire and Harold Ramirez for Drew Hutchinson to basically dump Liriano because he was, I don't know, he had a falling out with Searage, which I guess not that much of a falling out. But, we had to basically dump him because he was so bad. And he went to the Astros, was, in their playoff run, was with the Tigers last year as a starter pretty much. And then, nope, he's back in Pittsburgh. We signed him to a minor league deal. So, I don't know, DiNardo, you have to help me out with this. Is there any positivity here? Because I saw this signing, and I just wanted to, run into a brick wall.
Not a brick wall.
What is this? What is this?
It's the 2019 Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a low risk. Oh, I mean, let's put it this way. Regardless of whatever, it's a minor league deal, so honestly, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, it's. Well, let's just see what he has. You can sign all the minor league deals. I don't really care. They're low risk. I think the problem is who's getting signed on a major league deal.
Mm-hmm. Nobody.
So, you know, I look at this as it's an old friend. Who tweeted it today? Actually, I think it was Stilo City. He's like, can Searage reclaim a reclamation project? So, and that's like what this is. Like, he already was a reclamation project, and now we got him again. So, but again, like I said, it's a minor league deal. He had really good splits against lefties. See what he can do, I guess. You bring him into spring training, you see what he do. If he doesn't do anything, then you cut him loose. There's no risk. You know, or you send him to the minor leagues.
Get out of the minor leagues, boy.
Exactly. So, I mean, I looked at it, and it was just like, oh, cool, you know? But that was it. I really could care less about the signing.
But, I mean, DiNardo, we could have went out, we could have signed Jake Diekman. We could have went out and signed Sean Kelly. We could have signed Kelvin Herrera. We could have signed, I mean, my God, Tony Barnett, who was not very good the past couple of years. We could have signed Ryan Matson. We could have signed Dan Jennings. We could have signed, probably not Zach Britton because he got paid. We could have signed a lot of different relievers. Still could go get Adam Warren, but we signed Francisco Liriano. And here's the thing with me, like, yes, it's a minor league deal, and like you said, low risk, obviously everything about it, you know, if it doesn't work out in spring or whatever, I mean, even if he makes a team and then doesn't work out, whatever. But it's the fact that we're kind of like waiting for a move or something else to come down, like the next shoe to drop. And here, it's Liriano minor league deal, and it's just like, man, there's nothing else coming. Like, this is it. Like, this is what we're doing here. We're just bringing in, you know, these low risk, you know, minor league deal guys, whatever. Aaron Slagles, we'll bring him in here, see what he can do. Mm-hmm. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Brandon Moore was another one that we signed to a minor league deal, I think, last week.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean,
I'd rather have Liriano, honestly.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it's like
but he has the stuff, Ryan. He's got the stuff.
Yeah, they got the stuff. But like at this point, you know, Liriano was an everyday, you know, every fifth day starter for the Tigers last year, and you know what, like a 4.58 ERA, wasn't very good. I mean, at this point, he's got to be a bullpen guy, and is he at this point? You don't want him facing right-handers, so is he just basically a loogie now? I mean, are we going to roll with Liriano the loogie?
I don't know, but that's why he's a minor leaguer, not a major leaguer. Because you're not you don't sign him to a major league deal because you want him as a loogie. Not in this day and age. Not when you guys, you know, you need guys in the bullpen to come out and give you multiple innings or such. You know, you really don't have like that lefty specialist anymore. That's almost dead and gone.
Right.
So
that's all. Like, I think Liriano can do at this point.
Well, I feel you. Like, I'm not discrediting what you're saying, you know, but he is good against lefties. But do you really bring on a guy to just face lefties? I don't really see that being an option in our bullpen right now. So, especially when you're unsure about who the fifth starter is, you know, I don't know.
Oh God!
I just don't see him making the team.
It's one of
those things where like it's a fun story. You know, if you're down in Bradenton, you get to see Liriano in a Pirates jersey again. But come the end of March, you probably aren't.
I mean, is there a chance that he's the fifth starter?
You know, the funny thing is, like that did come across my head. But like realistically, and that's the thing, like realistically, Ryan, is Liriano really ahead of Brault, Kingham, Lyles? Probably not.
I mean, experience over Kingham and Brault, I would say yes, but besides
there is the
that,
experience.
It's like,
I mean, and the plus side too is he is that lefty.
Right.
That's something that this team needed. Now,
I mean,
we weren't pushing for the Liriano lefty, but you know, a left-handed pitcher was something. But right, like as far as he brings you, like you said too, Ron. I mean, he did pitch as a starter last year. The year before, he was just atrocious, atrocious. But last year, he had like a bit of a resurgence per se in terms of the year before. But a 4.5 ERA in Detroit. It was the AL. It wasn't awful, but yet he didn't pitch well though either. I mean, the guy's averaging almost 5 walks per 9.
Right.
You know, he had those issues before. The Pirates were able to tame them when he came over, but they're just getting out of control right now. I mean, his issue when he's here the first time was everyone was laying off the slider. That was his wipeout pitch. Teams,
yeah, it was basically
they're not being fooled anymore.
It was basically lay off all of his pitches, most of his pitches, because they're not going in the strike zone.
You're right.
And
exactly.
They started to, and he was walking the farm. It's just this. I mean, it's just like. I mean, look, positives. I mean, I guess you could say, Liriano's had basically his best success besides very early on with the Twins. With the Pirates. The Pirates did, turn his career around. It kind of ended after that. Like, he was pretty good for that half season with the Blue Jays, and like you said, then he was awful in 2017 and last year with the Tigers. So it's like, can Searage rework some magic there again? Maybe he gets into Bradenton and has like one of those Juan Nicasio type springs where he doesn't give up a run, and then the Pirates are like, put him in the rotation,
and then it's Liriano of today's day and age, right?
Oh boy!
But that's the beauty of spring training. You never know what you're getting. That's why I love in fantasy drafts. When people are like reading so much into spring training. Oh my God, this guy's batting 600 in spring training. Meanwhile, he's like, 14 of 20. Faced nothing but AAA pitchers, AA pitchers maybe. Oh my God, you gotta get him. And then he goes in the season batting 198. Yeah, like I don't know, man. I don't want this turned to like a hate show for Liriano, but to be realistic, it's just, we recognize him because he was with the Pirates. He was a fan favorite. He was pretty damn good with the Pirates. Yeah. And you're seeing that name again. It'd almost be like if he signed Neil Walker right now.
Oh God,
he was signed for $2 million with the Marlins. Like if Neil Walker got signed, I bet you would be a lot of people really happy right now. And it more or less is because it's a familiar face. It was one of the good guys. But what is Neil Walker this day and age? Same thing with Liriano. I'm sure there's a lot of people happy about it. But what is Liriano right now? He's a minor league signee. So chances are he's not going to make the team. Just put it out there that way. That's really it.
I mean,
I hope he does. I like him. Wish all the luck for him. But
right. I was going to say, I'm kind of like, who knows? I could see him making the team. And like you said, just because that familiarity factor. But look, when they traded him midseason, at the deadline in 2016, the trade for Drew Hutchinson that we've talked about for forever. There was talk that, Liriano basically had stopped listening to the Pirates brass and Searage, and they kind of had like a little bit of a falling out. That wasn't really. It was like the kind of the read between the lines in the reports that like there was something going on there. They trade him, and then here, like I said, 3 years later, he's back. So I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to that original report and those rumors. And, or Liriano needs a job and there wasn't anything out there. I mean, obviously,
I was going to say that could definitely be the other thing. He's like, well, what other option do I have right now? So,
right. Like, if he's taking a minor league deal with the Pirates, there probably wasn't much else out there for him.
Right, exactly.
So, but I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see, him working with Searage, I guess, in spring. And there's a little bit of a storyline there to see what he is. But it's weird because, like I said, he was a starter last year for the Tigers, so I could see him, I guess coming in here. I mean, the fifth starter spot is sort of up in the air. We've heard, basically it's Lyles, it's and then Broughton, then Kingham. But I mean, Liriano's experienced. He started 26 games last year, and I don't know, man. I think at this point, yeah, he's a reliever. But like I said, do you really want to see him facing like 2 innings worth of righties? Not really.
No,
so
2 innings worth of anybody. Unless there's 6 lefties, all in a row.
Right. They're just not. I mean, there's nothing else coming. It's minor league deals at this point. If anything else is coming.
Sadly, I
mean, this is it. Like 70. What were we at?
We didn't believe it. I mean, we really didn't believe it. But it does just seem they came out and said it. They weren't talking through their teeth. They said that this is your team. We got to believe it. So,
of course, that's until Manny signs.